Hello everyone and welcome to the Cone Cup Semi-Final B. I've just realised I've titled it the Cone Cup Semi-Final 2. I'm joined here today by Liam.
Hello.
So yeah, we are here for Cone Cup. There's two semi-finals running at the moment. I'm not sure if the other ones started their stream up yet or not. Didn't think to check. But yeah, we've got, is it 4 tracks today? In fact, I can be smart and check.
Yes, we have Canada, Silverstone, Imola, and the Circuit of Americas.
Yes.
Varied tracks, in my opinion. Canada obviously favouring those on a wheel. Silverstone would probably be more balanced between the pad and the wheel users, so a good chance for any of the pad users to score a good result. Imola, again, I mean, you'll have those sections where it's favoured for the wheel, and then maybe sector 2 somewhat is favoured for the pad, and USA is completely balanced. So it's going to be interesting just to see, who will come out on top, and yeah, any expectations?
I mean, I'm really not sure. I've been middle of exam season, so I haven't really been paying too much attention to the Cone Cup so far. So I really don't know who the ones to look out for.
Okay. I'm actually not familiar who's in our little group, so just looking at the lobby now, I'm looking at Mark, Wouter, Ferg, and Nathan also mixing in. So it's obviously going to be a very strong lobby in regards with the pot 1 drivers, but the pot 2, I think DeWill is part of the pot 2, Nacho, Nelly Safu. Those
Yeah,
lot,
they're
they'll be the one
fast.
star. They'll be the ones to look out for.
Yeah, absolutely. And, well, especially that Nathan DeWill team, both decently quick drivers. DeWill's actually got the most championships out of anyone, and they both come from Tier 1. So, that'll be a team to watch out for. I think that's the Icemen. I've got the teams up at the moment.
Hold on, I will pull up the stream here, like the one for Cone, because I'm running on blind here at the moment.
Yeah, haven't actually got a good way of showing who's under which team, because we've only got them under team names, but I have got in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Mark is pretty obvious which team he's in.
Just for reference, the semi-1 already have started, and we're in the middle of starting it up. So, and might I add, I think the thumbnail is really nice.
Coming from the man who made it himself.
Exactly.
Yeah, they've got the other one up, and they started yet? Not quite. So yeah, 4 rounds. I think we're starting with. Hang on, get the tracks back up again. The track list here says it's Canada, Kota, Imola, Silverstone. So I don't know if that's the order we're going to be doing them, or the order you said earlier.
It says here, like I'm looking at the track list now. It says Canada, the UK, Imola, and the USA. So
No, I don't know. Maybe I'm looking at something old.
I'll correct Nathan if I must.
Oh, within the lobby. Yeah, so I didn't even think to check them.
Could you list out the order real quick?
On the stream, it's on the track list. It says Canada, USA, Imola, Silverstone. Don't know if that's meant to be the order or what, but still waiting on, I think, 3 drivers from the looks of things.
Yes, it looks like we're waiting on 3 drivers. I think we're waiting on Indigo's one. Derluxi, I think. No, he's already in.
Yeah, Indigo. She quite often commentates Tier 1, doesn't he?
Yeah. Actually, I'll let you. Well, in terms of commentating, qualifying, I'll let you take over for the first one. I'll take over for the second, third, you, fourth, me.
Alright.
Sounds good.
Just
yeah, brilliant.
I haven't told you this yet. I have only driven a total of 1 lap on this game. I didn't even finish it, so You're far better at this game than I am.
All right.
I'm merely the man behind the microphone who makes funny noises and that people watch.
Life of a streamer, eh?
Yep. Right, yeah, apparently we were correct to pick up Nathan. He's now going to correct the track order.
Alright, yeah.
Nice.
And
apparently there's 3
you're
people.
still missing 3.
And 2 of them are from the same team, interestingly.
Ooh, Arexis'
That's
team in trouble here.
I think that's Indigo and Melvin, are those 2. Is Melvin in?
Melvin does not look to be in
Yes,
at the moment.
Indigo and Melvin are the pot 1 and pot 4 drivers from Team NPC. And then who's the other one we're missing? Oh, this rate they might just have to start without them.
Yeah, I think we might have to.
Some of the drivers are already getting impatient and readying up.
Mm-hmm.
So.
We'll just... Yeah, lobby 2, Nathan just confirmed to go, so...
Alright.
Looks like we're getting
17
ready
drivers, Team NPC. Oh, someone just said they reckon they're reserving for Indigo.
Mm-hmm.
Have they got an invite then or not?
Yeah, they now got an invite, I believe. I think it is Digweed, but I'm not entirely sure.
If it's, I wouldn't assume Digweed's reserving for Indigo. Well, it's whoever Formula ASB is.
Oh, okay.
Right, I will hop towards C. One shot quali first, which is always an absolute complete pain to commentate, but we'll do our best. Just watching time the board, isn't it?
Exactly. I'll let you take over for the first part. And then lights out. We'll decide amongst ourselves.
It's kind of
As drivers.
Is it kind of
Sorry?
this weekend or not? Am I being...
It is actually this weekend, yes.
I remember seeing something about it. So we beat F1 to it, we were here first, we started it.
Exactly, Cone on top. Our allegiance to Cone. The drivers now have 8 seconds as I'm talking to get their setups ready.
Yeah,
Jonathan, take over.
So one shot quali about to start. Here we go. Immediately throws me to a really awkward camera angle. See, can't really tell who's anywhere before we get through the first section. I'll hop on board with Wouter if I can. He'll be up the front. Hobbsy doing a very good job. I'm pretty sure he's a pot 2 driver here. So looking good from him. Still yet to really know which drivers are in which teams, but all the teams with them will have the same ones. Nathan now up to the front. He's with the Icemen. Wouter still down in third. I don't think we've had any validations yet. You've got Chugs down right at the back. 2 drivers from the same team, both of Nathan's teammates. It seems right at the back. Wouter out past Hobbsy. Hobbsy dropped down to P3, but a strong performance from him. Hobbsy's Mark's teammate. Mark is way down in 7th place. Of course, they've got the wonderful name of Team 3 Good Drivers and Mark. Natra actually doing a pretty solid performance as well. It's hard to see which team doing the best so far, but Nathan leading them down the main straight towards the Wall of Champions. We'll see who gets it in the end. Super Mug, not a name I actually recognise. He is Jacob's teammate. Though Jacob not able to race today, but here we go. Nathan gets the pole position, beats out Wouter by a couple of tenths there. See them all coming through. A few disqualifications. Mark, one of the ones disqualified actually. That could be quite important.
Are
they 25% race or at 5 lappers?
Should be 5 lappers, but yeah. Nathan takes pole with Wouter coming in second. Supermug 200, a name I also don't recognise, coming in third. DeWill in fourth. So Nathan's team doing 1 and 4.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Nelu Safu, part of Wouter's team by the looks of things, coming home in P5, and the rest of the order then.
It's looking very strong from Nathan's team and Wouter's team, isn't it? They both got 2 drivers in the top 5, so have to keep an eye on them. We had Mark, Andre, Chugs, and Ferg all invalidate their Hedgehog, 3.8 seconds off the pack. People varying amounts off the pack, but yeah, looks like it should.
It's going to be important for Mark's team to try and capitalize off such a weak position. Mark, as loud-mouthed as he is, he can deliver home the points. So we'll have to wait and see during the race. Go on.
We've got DC asking, who's that sexy Irish voice I hear?
Oh, Dan, you know yourself, like, I wish I could say all sorts of things, but we're on live, so you'll have to content with me being PG for now. I think I'll take over lights out.
Yep.
All right. It's very confusing. Oh, and it's lights out, and away we go as Narter gets a really good start. Nathan having to defend already. Wouter takes the lead. As there's a bit of action down at the back, I think Hobbsy has made a position. There looks he also Alex he's fighting his teammate, but Wouter, most importantly, he takes the lead, and Nathan will not be happy about that. Supermug all over the back of Nathan now. DeWill also slotting in fourth.
Yeah,
that's the
good.
top four.
Hedgehog currently down 4 positions. He dropped past all the people who did not qualify. Hedgehog, who was the slowest time. Actually, not a massive amount of position changes further up in the order at the top 6. Only the top 2 have swapped. But I think we've had, it's a yellow flag, and who's that? That is for Formula ASB. The driver who I think joined late. One of the people weren't expecting to join.
Exactly. I'm just looking at Mark now, making a little bit of contact with Craigo, as he makes his way into 11th. So what a wonderful start for Mark. He's trying to scrape home anything from starting at such a low position. Craigo's is coming out superior in this skirmish. I think Arx East and Derluxi is still fighting, but that might have been resolved already.
Yeah, right, Nathan, I think I have now fixed the... Jacob, I think I've now fixed the audio. I accidentally missed one of the audio profiles. Wait, have I still got it right? Yes, yeah.
Is this a bad time?
No, I
just noticed that Nathan, he's falling down the order. He has some sort of wing damage. Yes.
Down 13
Nathan
positions.
has wing damage.
From the pole position. See, almost the entire field now moved up a place. Not good for his team, because he's still got DeWill up in 3rd position. At the moment, the strongest team looking to be the team of Walt and Nelu Safu, which is Champs R Us, and at the moment they seem to be holding to that name. Looking strong for the chances of getting into the final so far. Nathan will be nursing his car. Will he take it into the pit lane or not? I guess we'll find out.
I think he'll have to take it into the pit lane. I mean, this damage coming out of his cars looks pretty severe. Yeah, he's missing an end plate. So I'd be surprised if he doesn't box, and he doesn't box. He's going to miss the chicane, hold up the entire pack behind him, as they're going to try and get past now. Chugs L2 will be trying to get past his own teammate as Vero Vapa goes side by side with Nathan, part of Mark's team.
Yeah, Nathan actually.
ASB. Go on.
Nathan, very good job given he's got no front wheel, but of course he will be the fastest of the drivers around here. He's just fighting against his own lack of downforce.
So what a disastrous start for Nathan. I mean, that's really unlucky from P1 to all the way down to last, or second to last even.
Yeah, Hedgehog also.
But don't don't let go of your popcorn just yet. Supermug and Wouter are still going at it.
Yeah, still nose to tail. They've got a bit of a lead to everyone else, and who's that? Yellow 4. This time, actually, the 2 leaders along side by side. Supermug on the inside, and he does get the pass done on Wouter. Wouter back to where he started, but Supermug up 2 positions, and he'll be happy with that.
Supermug, actually. I did not expect Supermug to be this quick, but yeah, they've already pulled 2 seconds ahead of DeWill, so it's pretty safe. Oh! And that's one of Nathan's teammates gone out.
And that looks to be, quite possibly, with the Wall of Champions, they're not at all looking good for Nathan's team, the Icemen.
Absolutely not, but action's still up in front now. Wouter all over the back of Supermug, as he's got still an entire straight to go, try and get past Supermug.
Yeah, 1.5 laps remaining. So he's got that back straight with DRS twice And theoretically, if Wout gets him this time, then he might get Walter back the next time. So maybe Walter might decide to sit behind and wait, save his DRS to do it on the final lap. We'll see what he goes for here, closing up on Supermug now, coming down towards the chicane, and he is going to go for the overtake. He's got the inside and it looks like he's absolutely flying past, and there we go, that is Walter back into the lead. Once again, champs are
Eat
us.
your popcorn to yourself still, Welter. Oh no, okay, I thought Supermug had the DRS, but Welter eventually pulled slightly from Supermug.
Oh, and we've got Nelu Saf and Duel side by side through first chicane. Is it a chicane? A little bit of a chicane.
Yeah, first chicane, first 2 turns. And Duel is fighting for his life, trying to hold on to whatever position he can to try and score as much points as possible for the Iceman.
Yeah, and we'll see, but of course, the Iceman not in a good position at all. Champs are Ross in a very good position. Almost certainly going to have 2 drivers in the top 4 position, maybe even 2 drivers on the podium here.
Oh, the top two collided. Welter tried to get DRS off Supermug, and Supermug ran into the back of Welter.
Oh, and has he got a front wing then or not? No, he's got no front wing.
He's lost his entire front wing. Yeah.
Ooh, I think
Welter weaving behind, trying to say sorry.
I think he's going to let him have the place. So we'll keep an eye on then Nelly Saffo and DeWill, because that is going to be where the action's taking place, as they are going to be fighting for position here. Nelly Saffo on the outside, and he looks like he has got DeWill. A double podium for Champs are Us, although not the top step for them, as Walter, after causing damage to Supermug, letting him have that position further down the order.
I think it's only fair. Sorry, I think it's only fair for Welter to actually cede that position. So yeah, good sportsmanship on Welter's part, knowing he was in the wrong.
But yeah, there we go. Still a few drivers. Nathan crawling across the line, and then Hedgehog will be our last man.
Hold on.
This may be a dumb question, but is this... Oh, no, okay, that's the point system. So yeah, 20 drivers for the driver in first, then going down 1 point per each driver, so each position only worth 1 point compared to the next. I will have to do a tally at some point, just to get a kind of rough result. At the moment, looking very good for Wout and his team, as the top 2 drivers between them picking up 37 points between the 2 of them. But there we go. In the end, the man with no front wing on the top step, the Iceman, getting the win, very sorely needed after what happened to the rest of them. And I think wait, no, not Supermug. Wait. Am I being an idiot? I think I'm being an idiot. I'm mixing up the suit colours. No, it was Supermug who got on the top step. But here we go. You can see the results. Iceman only able to get 4th position, so actually they're not looking strong at all. Supermug, he's got his teammates down in 10th, 11th and 13th. So not the best, not the worst. Not looking too back from Hobbsy and his lot. They've got 5th, 8th and 9th. But I think the stars of the show here looking to be Champs are Us. That's Walter, Nelly Safu, and then the other 2, they are quite far down actually. Hedgehog there not having Bailiff. Only 3 of their drivers have shown up, and actually that might cost them quite badly despite the good result from the top 2. We'll see how that all turns out. Next up we have got, I believe it's Cotis the next track, so we'll get into that one shortly. That's certainly interesting. Actually, who was it who got fastest lap in the end? I do want to have a look at that. So fastest lap in the end going to Mark, all the way down in 8th position. He picked up a couple seconds of penalties. None of the top 5 had penalties, but quite a few below that did have penalties.
Sorry, I am back now.
Just in time is now loading into Kota. I'll let you have the quali this time and I'll let the lights out.
Yep, sounds good to me.
You're saying you can't hear Liam. Wait, Liam, talk.
Hello, hello.
It's coming up on my thing. Ah, it's because you were gone. Yeah.
Alright. So the drivers have 30 seconds to put on a setup here. Times I'd be expecting maybe a 31.4. I'd be surprised if anyone breaks the 31 mark into the 30.9s. Obviously a very balanced track, a really nice track to drive sometimes as well, so one more second passes.
Yeah,
and I'll ride on board with Mark. So as we begin our lap now, Mark takes the lead up to turn 1. He'll brake at the in between the 50 meter board, maybe at 75 meters, as he gets a really nice run going into turn 2 and 3. It's about nailing these S's now.
I can't get on board with Mark. Alright, there we go. For me, showing him way the way down in 7th position now. He starts to move up the order.
As he gets a really nice run throughout the S's, as he takes a little bit of a curb, gets really nice traction, and for this corner here you'd want to brake at about 75 meters, as he does there. Gets a really nice run towards the back straight. Duras wide open, running at about 200 miles per hour, 300 kilometers an hour for anyone that uses the metric system. Braking at the 100 meter board, cutting a little bit of the inside hairpin, and here's all about traction, and Mark displays perfectly how to exploit the traction as we head into the slowest part of the circuit now, entering sector 3.
Yeah, wow.
Triple right-hander, you don't want to keep it at a constant speed as he turns in at about maybe 20 meters, as Mark now he brakes at the 50 meter board and comes in third. And Wouter, like I said, 31.2, pretty solid enough prediction as I did expect.
1, 2, 3 for Relentless there. And actually Mark very, very close to Formula ASB, about half a tenth separating the two of them. But again, Wouter the fastest time, doing very well for his team. Nelly Safu,
relentless
further
drivers.
Down.
Yeah, 3 relentless drivers, all driving for separate teams actually.
And we've had Nathan invalidate further down. Nathan's in Relentless, isn't he? I can never remember.
Nathan is in CPI.
Ah, he was at one point, I think.
I don't believe so, but sure, look, there's things I don't know.
But yeah, not a good performance from the Icemen. The best position here, 9th, to Will just behind in 10th. So possibly some mistakes from then, but again, a strong performance from Supermug and his team. Actually, Supermug seems to be doing remarkably fast given what we've seen. He was deemed a Pot 2 driver, but doing a good job for the Orange Army.
By the looks of things, he's just about a Pot 1 driver. So
yeah, we're certainly keeping up with him, isn't he? Won the first race.
Very impressive from Supermug so far, but yeah. As the drivers are beginning to make their final preparations before the race start, Jonathan, I'll let you do lights up.
Yep, here we go. So 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights are up. And away they go. Wouter on the outside looks to be a good start, better than Ferg. Ferg slotting in behind him, the 2 side by side for P3. You've got people going up the inside there further down the order. There's a high risk of contact here. We've got, is that Andre going wide? A bit of contact there. We've got a car in the wall. And that is Hobbsy out of the race. Hobbsy knocked out immediately into turn 1. And
all eyes on the top 3 now, as Supermug is being challenged by Formula ASB actually.
Yeah, side by side those two.
Some great racing here, very clean.
Supermug in the end coming out on top, and the Orange Army the strongest team at the moment. Wouter's quite far back to Nelu Safi, so Wild's going to have to carry his team a little bit in this one. So far, got a driver going deep there. I believe that was Digweed. I think possibly Chugs also had a mistake somewhere. He's down 5 positions. Same with Deluxe, he's down 4 positions. But a lot of the other field, especially who's that? I have no idea how you say that name, but the person in 12th, they're at 5 positions, so doing good job for.
I think you pronounce it Maravata hippie. Yep, but again, we've got to focus our attention near the front. Actually, the top 5 all within a second of each other, so.
Yeah, well, you say the top 5. I think the entire front of the field, the top 12 all within a second of the person in front.
Oh yeah,
a few positions changing around actually. Just battling going on here for 10th position. Nelly Safi right on the tail of Digweed. Nelly Safi not having the best race so far, but looks like he might look for a lunge up the inside, considers it, decides better of it. You just have to also worry about Vero, I'm just going to Vero behind him.
Yeah, Vero. As, yeah, Nathan's team not having the best of days, shall we say. A front wing change for Nathan. So for Welter already pulling 7.5 tenths on Ferg.
And a mistake by Nelu Safi drops him down to 12th position. I'll hop back up with front of the pack. Also next lap I'll start to pick up DRS, get some overtakes done on this long straight, sector 2. Till then, we're a little bit of a sitting behind each other again, just consolidating your position and waiting for your opportunities. But now just the top 6 within what will be DRS range. Yeast isn't really a driver I saw much of last race. The kind of team with the grey cars seem to be a little bit hidden, but actually Yeast is in Team NPC. That's they're the team with only how many drivers? They only have 2 drivers, I think. Unless Formula like ASB is meant to be in that team, I think possibly actually. Just
whatever the case, RX is doing whatever he can just to try and keep Team NPC alive in the championship, and he's doing a fairly good job at it.
Yeah, as Nelu Safi pitting, I think he must have picked up damage somewhere, possibly through the last corner. Now I think about it, at the end of lap 1, had to take his car all the way through lap 2 damaged. It might explain why he had those mistakes. Supermug now closing in on Marcus Wout has nearly gapped Ferg by over a second. It was over a second at one point. He's going to be really pushing to get that done before DRS detection zone. It looks like he has managed it. So Ferg will not be getting DRS down the back straight. So we've got a yellow flag, and that looks to be for...
It's RX Yeast. I cursed him.
Commentator's curse strikes again.
Oh, that's so unfortunate for RX Yeast Team NPC. But yeah, the top 5 now, from 2nd to 5th, it could be anyone's place, to be honest, for 2nd place.
Importantly, Mark in a sandwich between 2 drivers racing for the Orange Army. So they may be able to try and work together. One, Ferg back him into Supermug, try and get him past. Although the difference between P3 and P4 is only 1 point, so perhaps which would be the case of make sure you don't have a collision and make the most of it. Digweed actually doing pretty well. Orange Army, 3 drivers in the top 8. Craigo not having the best race in the world. When you've got 3 drivers all doing this strong, you don't need to worry too much about that. It's a team who succeeded in that round. Another yellow flag, and that is for Arix again. Gone in the last sector this time. Drops down to 14th.
It's all gone wrong.
Yeah.
I'm just noticing now, I mean, I don't think Ferg should be too worried on the win. For him at least, or for his team. He's going to be trying to look to capitalize on the most positions for his teammates. I mean, Supermug is just running a few tenths behind Mark. So, if Ferg plays this smart, he can try in the back Mark into Supermug, and Supermug will be there to capitalize on that position.
Yeah, but Mark, a decent exit, and does now have DRS right behind him. This should be an easy overtake, flying past him nice and early. DRS to keep up.
Yes.
And there we go. Actually, Supermug might be under threat from behind with Formula ASB not quite close enough, but still right on his tail. So here we go, the two Orange Army now, third and fourth, next to each other. See, go ahead.
Go on.
Yeah. We'll see if the two next to each other ends up being a help or a hindrance. At the moment, they have to worry about attacking in front and defending from behind with Formula ASB, who we believe to be in the same team as Deluxe and Arix. Not certain, but that is Team NPC. If it is.
It's anyone's ball game at the moment. I mean, it'd be a huge result if anything comes out of Formula ASB's position, like trying to get if he gets fourth, because every point counts really.
Yeah, and of course, previously we went down. How many teams was it? We went from 15 teams, and we dropped down to 10 teams into the semi-finals. But when we go into the finals, it'll be dropping down to just 5 teams. So half of the teams will be knocked out. So very important you do well here. There's a lot more teams going to be knocked out. So I think it's only the top 2 teams from each one, plus the strongest third place team, one with the most points. So even if you're not going to get into the top 2, points still matter. You want the highest possible score, even if you've got that one team consistently beating you. But I think we might see Supermug and Ferg swap positions.
I don't think it's possible.
Maybe
Wise
not,
now. Actually, Ferg is burning everything to get side by side with Mark. Is he going to get side by side with Mark? Yes, he is. Through the 100-meter board. Mark locks up, but so does Ferg. They make a little bit of contact. Ferg out braking himself. Does he get the position? No, he does not. Mark going for the switchback. But Ferg, he gets the superior traction, covers off the inside. Supermug trying to go for a move.
Nearly a little bit of contact there, but Mark now in a sandwich. Can't fight too hard. And it looks like...
That might just end that skirmish.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I think Ferg in the end is going to pick up that P2, isn't he? Wouter, of course, just stayed in the league. No fighting from him. Can cruise home nice and easily. P2 round 1. P1 round 2. Ferg getting the P2 in the end. Mark P3, Supermug P4, and then ASB next. A bit of a gap down to the next lot. Let's see here coming across the line in groups, but a good result here for the Orange Army. P2, P4, and P10, which I think is, if my maths is right, that is 47 points between those 3 drivers. that is very off the top of my head, so, but it's roughly correct anyway.
It is, yes. That was a great skirmish between Mark and Ferg. I mean, that was an excellent battle. Kept it relatively clean, and Supermug almost getting Mark by the hairpin. So, want to see more of that. But Wouter, he was just cruising.
Yeah, there we go. Digweed getting the drive of the day. I guess he started further down the order. We'll see. Who was it who picked up fastest lap in the end? I didn't pick up on it. There we go. Wouter doing his little silly dance. See, he steps up on the podium. And that's his second podium today, a P2 and a P1. And even then, that P1, he could have tried to get the win. It was only because of what happened in that DRS detection zone. Which didn't catch on stream, but broke.
Wouter takes the fastest lap, if you were wondering. So yeah, well, I'll go through the race rundown now. I mean, Wouter takes the win. Ferg stays in second, and Mark also stays in third. Supermug making one position, he'll go up into fourth. Formula ASB losing that position to Supermug, sits down in fifth. Andre in sixth, seventh, Duwill, eighth, Nacho, ninth, Luxie, Digweed, 10th, Veru in 11th, Chugs in 12th, 13th, Hedgehog, 14th, Arix, Yeast. Nelly Safi in 15th, 16th Craigo, 17th Nathan, and 18th Hobbsy.
Yeah, of course, that turn 1 DNF from Hobbsy, so not particularly great from him. I've just now had another look at the format. There's 1 point for pole and 1 point for fastest lap. So you want to be picking them up as much as you can, because 1 point could very well make the difference. Because it's possible, actually, a P3 team could have more points than a P2 team. Yeah, depending on which group you are, you could have less points but still get through.
Exactly.
Could really do with a quick thing to just input the results in. See which team's doing this. If I had more time, didn't have a 2-hour exam today, I might have set up a spreadsheet to do it for me.
By the looks of things, Supermug's team,
Yeah.
the Orange Army, have been doing so well so far. I mean, it's an absolute pleasure to watch them so far. Now we're heading into Imola,
Yeah.
another track where it's so technical. Go on.
Well, I was going to say very interesting track. We've seen some, certainly within the just generic CRL season, some interesting things happen, some championship deciding moments. I think it was season 5, the championship leader got crashed into an EDNF there, and actually that ended up with him not able to win the championship in the end, but actually seemed to go in his way. He had quite poor luck, and that was one of the tracks that cost him. But, yeah. I mean, you've got that first chicane, haven't you, where it can all go horribly wrong. We've seen
Exactly.
in actual F1, who was there? Were a couple of drivers. I'm really bad memory, but where,
Sainz, Ricardo.
yeah, was that this year or last? Nah. Here we go, qualifying starting for the moment. I'll stay on board with Nelu Safu.
Damn long straight, isn't it? Very, very long.
Yeah, at the moment, of course. Actually, this might give a rough end to the setups. Gregor seemed to get the most, but through the first braking zone. Nathan trying to pull a bit of redemption after 2 bad results so far. Seems both times he's had damage to his front wing. He'll be looking to improve that at the moment, down in 8th. Good chicane from him. The order really shaking up there, and I think Andre and Krager may have invalidated, as Andre was right up near the front, now dropped way the way back. Mark holding it strong at the moment. Supermug down in 8th, which actually is fair. It's more I would have expected him to be. This isn't, he's having a bad performance. He's not having an amazing one for once. As Krager retired from the session, so I guess he did invalidate Mark, still holding the lead over Wouter, as they now about to clatter over the curbs on board with the Wouter, where of course the clerk had his spin in the race.
Just noticed that Nathan just invalidated.
Yeah, well, if Nathan's invalidated, that means 3 out of 4 of the Icemen have invalidated. And Dwill only down in 8th. So not looking particularly
It's going
strong.
to be close between Mark and Walter. Well, Mark takes pole
Oh
position.
my goodness, that is close between the 2 of them. What's that,
Wow.
8 thousandths?
It's the battle in the Oriel camp going wild up there. Will I read out the race rundown?
Yeah, so there we go. Mark with the fastest time, only 8 thousandths ahead of Wouter. I'm sure we'll see those 2 battling away throughout this race. Supermug in 3rd, another great performance from him. Formula ASB just behind him, and another name we're seeing up there. Same with Nelu Safu. Then we've got Arix and Hobbsy just behind him. De Will, the only Iceman to qualify. Vero, Digweed, Nacho, and then Hedgehog, the last man to qualify. Seems to be quite far back off the order, Hedgehog, but he's still finishing every time. He's setting results and he's not invalidated, and that really is the important thing, because he's got everyone who invalidated behind him. And if he can hold them, I mean, he's not going to hold them up perfectly, but he can, you know, every point matters. Even if you're not the best driver, you can still help your team out, because that 1 point could be the difference.
Exactly. I'll take out lights out this time. So it's going to be very close between the top teams, between Mark and Wouter, if we're judging off qualifying. I mean, there's only, what, 1,400 separating them?
The top 2?
Incredible stuff.
No, it's
Yeah.
8 thousandths.
8,000s, really? Wow.
Wait. Oh, when you say 1,400ths, because that's...
4 lights, 5 lights. And it's lights out, and away we go. I think Mark gets a really good start. Welter gets a really poor start. A Supermug slotting in behind. Nelly Safi already getting up into 4th. RX East into 5th. Let's see who takes... Oh! RX
Supermug.
East going for a really nice pipe bomb.
Supermug,
And there's a lot of action.
Supermug alongside Wouter for P2 here, and I'm not sure he's going to get this in the end. Supermug on the inside, he spins, and Supermug in the wall, no front wing at all. Collision with Wouter sends him off into the wall. That's disappointment for him.
And
There's also
more
further
contact,
collisions. That's one
Oh
of the
wow, and it looks like
Icemen.
Nathan.
Nathan in the wall again, lost his front wing. That's 3 out of 4 times no front wing from Nathan. He's not going to be a happy man. I think Chug's also no front wing. And Craigo's got none either. Supermug, we saw his collision. We're on board with that. And then Hedgehog down in P14. And he's just going to pick up the pieces here. He knows he's not the fastest man. But if he can get to the end, he can bring some of those points home for his team. Huge battle here going on the midfield.
RxGeese goes up in third. He made a really nice lunge going into the final chicane. RxGeese doing whatever he can to try and scrape home whatever points for Team NPC.
Yeah.
I did not expect him to do this well.
Oh, and who's that yellow for? That is that Nathan? Oh, Nathan's just completely cut the corner. I think he's just getting to the pit lane as quickly as he can.
I couldn't blame him one bit.
Yeah, you lose 1 or 2 front wings, you don't mind, but when it's every single race you've had in one day, it's going to start to hurt. So we'll see. Expect him to pit. Hopefully he doesn't retire in the pit lane.
I think it will be the battle between the ERS counts, because ERS here doesn't regenerate fast at all. In fact, I think it doesn't regenerate at all unless there's a safety car. And it looks like Mark has a bit more ERS than Wouter, so far, at least.
Yeah, I'm just watching this middle group battle going on here for P10. 4 drivers fighting away. Nacho leading that group.
Oh yeah, this is a huge battle right here.
Actually, there, I think they've joined that battle up for 7th. They've made it, what, 7th down through P13. All of them in the train there.
That's an incredible battle, actually. Formula ASB getting ahead of Vero, Vapa, Hippie. A mouthful. And I think Formula ASB could make it into the train ahead of him. Sure, he's only 9/10 behind. So this could be a battle for 5th all the way down to 13th.
And Chugs has spun further down the order, which just means his teammate Nathan going to get past him before that P17. Means nothing overall team-wise. Will was having a look at Hobbsy there, not getting the move done in the end. Vero having a look at ABS, not going for it in the end.
Nothing so far. I'm surprised Ferg is all the way back here, but now he's going to go for a move on Vero. They're going to stick it side by side, are they? No, Vero smartly backs out of that corner.
Oh, and goes wide. You're going to have to be careful with warnings there. Almost certainly picked up one there in 2 seconds. When you've got a group this close, could cost you a lot. Behind, as Nacho makes a mistake on the exit, Deluxey looking to capitalise on that just behind him. Sends up the inside of the chicane, and this could be interesting. Deluxey in the end, backing out. Yeah, I mean, it would have been a dangerous one. High chance of spinning. The 2 leaders are battling away.
Oh yeah. Now Wouter's all over the back of Mark now. Neither one wanting to use their ERS, so like I said earlier, it's going to be a battle between the ERS counts.
Chugs, pit lane, retirement there.
That's unfortunate, to be honest.
Yeah, and this time, for once, the Orange Army not having such a strong race. P8, P13, P15 and P16. Icemen also.
I think with their performance for the first few rounds, it's not really that much of an issue. They have a race to waste away, I guess.
Yeah, well, you want to be in the top 2 teams. Ideally, his Formula ABS has gone. He's crashed out. Where's that happened? Just on the left there, I guess, in the exit to that hairpin. And that is him out, and that is yet more bad news for Team NPC. Who does have Arix there? They're going very wide. Somehow not picking up a penalty. I guess he just knows the penalty system well enough.
It'll be a battle for 3rd now. Nalu Safu running on fumes in terms of ABS. No, ERS, oh god. And it'll also be a battle for the lead, so...
Yeah, I'll hop on board now with Wouter, who I suspect this will be where he goes to his moving mark. You can see them now both deploying their ARS. Wouter on the outside, Mark on the inside, and let's hope this isn't Russell and Bottas, but no. Wouter getting through, and that is him through into the lead. Mark running out of opportunities to go for that position as well. Arix has had a very big moment there. I don't know what's happened to him. He's lost a load of speed. A hop back and board with that lead battle. Have to keep an eye though on what Ferg is doing behind Hobbsy. So we know he can be a threat, a fast driver, a bit out of position. And I think Arix may have some damage, as he's just starting to drop a lot of time.
Ferg could capitalise on this.
Yeah, Hobbsy and Ferg both behind. Ferg not yet going for the move. Mark and Mouse are nothing. Hobbsy goes wide, Mark through there.
Oh, there's big contact between Arix East and Ferg.
But in the end, actually, no one spins out or anything. Ferg is still behind, although up 10 positions. He was one of the ones who invalidated, if I remember. And Arix East picks up a 2-second penalty, and that's huge, because look how close the pack is behind him. But Hobbsy and Deluxe side by side.
Down to 11th.
Um.
Oh wow! And Deluxe spins. Deluxe spins.
And Team NPC goes from bad to worse. One crashes out, one spins, and one gets a penalty. Not looking good for them. Wilds picking up the win as we saw in the end. Two teammates, in fact, three teammates, 6, 7, and 8, all side by side there, position-wise. Not much separating them at all. That'd be a bit of a nice photo finish for them. And a very strong team. Yeah, I mean, look, all 4 drivers in the top 8 for good drivers and Mark there. They'll be definitely happy with that. That's 19, 15, 14, and 13 points. So that's going to be what?
Wow, that's a lot.
Whatever 42 plus 19 is. So
42 plus 19.
61, I think.
Yeah, wow.
That is good. That's very good for them.
Exactly. I mean, it's been interesting so far. Welter takes 2 out of 3 wins now.
And here we go, Nathan about to come across the line. And that's now 3 front wings lost for him in 3 races. And Nathan going to be struggling now. He'll want one last good race. It's... which track is it last?
Silverstone.
Oh yeah, of course, how can I forget?
Silverstone, land of the...
Max Verstappen
greatest battle.
Crash, yeah.
If you're a Hamilton fan, then you'll be rejoicing, but if you're a Max fan, oh dear. Oh dearie me.
There we go again. Another podium for Walter, and I think another one for Mark. I don't know if he's on 2 or 3 podiums now, but those two showing why they're always doing so well in the general cone season.
Nalu Safu takes 3rd, DeWill in 4th, Ferg in 5th. Mark's entire team, Hobbsy, Veru, Vapa and Nacho, 6th, 7th and 8th. Andre in 9th, Arixis in 10th, Digweed in 11th, 12th, Deluxy after having a spin. Hedgehog in 13th, Super Mug in 14th after losing his front wing.
But he did get fastest lap. I assume fastest lap goes to him anyway. Yeah, I think fastest lap is irrelevant of whether or not you finish in the top 10. And then, once we had a DNF and a pit lane retirement. Makes the pit lane retirement look a bit silly when there's a DNF afterwards, but...
yeah. Anyways, that's just racing here in the Cone Cup, I guess. As we prepare for the final round now.
Yeah, and I'm really not sure which team, because we've had Orange Army have had strong performances, of course. We've just had, who was it? Good Drivers and Mark had a huge performance there. Team NPC, we know, I think they're the one we can quite happily say is very unlikely to get through to the final unless they stomp him. There's only 3 of them anyway. Orange Army's had some good ones as well.
Especially with Nathan's team. Nathan's team, they're now down a man.
Oh yeah, Iceman and NPC both going to be really struggling, aren't they? So I think those are the 2 who are definitely, they're going to be bottom 2 teams. So it's between Good Drivers and Mark, Champs Are Us and Orange Army. So that's the black one, the blue one and the orange one. As to who can get P1 and P2, guaranteed their place in the final, and who is going to end up P3 and just having to hope they have enough points to beat the other P3 team in semi-final A.
I'm just reading the comments right now. This Wouter guy needs to get locked up. Coming from Total Peas. So, the love is still there in the Oriel camp. As we're in Silverstone now, possibly the greatest circuit in F1. You heard it here, folks.
Gonna stir some opinions up there. Not quite sure if I have a preference to a favourite circuit.
Say again?
I'm not sure if I have a favourite circuit within F1. So the F1 game I've played the most is F1 2009, which I played back on the Wii.
It was only out in the Wii. I also had it too. So
Yeah. We used to
like...
always used to play Nürburgring, and then the other one was Albert Park. But here we go, one-shot quali now underway.
And I'm gonna once again ride and border at Mark. Turn 1 flat, and obviously going into 2 and 3. You want to have a really nice sling into turn 4 and 5. You want to hit the corner, the apex, very nicely. Get a really nice run now. DRS wide open at around 250 kilometers an hour, topping out at about 317. And you want to brake fairly early into some of these corners. You want to hit the apex, preferring traction. As we head into cops now, the infamous Hamilton v Verstappen crash back in 2021. Mark almost takes it flat out. He had to shift down 1 gear.
But isn't that the corner that got called Hamilton Straight as well? I always forget that it's Hamilton Straight where he spun Verstappen.
No, it's down to start-finish straight.
Oh, I knew it was one of those. Yeah, my bad. Sorry. I'll let you continue.
As we head into... Crap, I forgot this corner name.
The corner after the hangar straight.
Going into Vale now. It'll be all about traction in Vale. Mark takes it in second gear, short shifting up to fourth. Getting all the traction he can. Wouter takes pole position with a 26.3. Mark follows in behind with a 26.4. Fergan 26.8. Nathan 26.9.
And we've got Alex Yeast just doing some donuts for us, I guess. Put on a show for the commentators, why not? But he's invalidated and he's right the way down the order. And he'll come across the line in P15. So actually Hedgehog, I guess he had a crash really early on. Because we saw him DNF right at the start of the lap. Here we go. Actually, no two drivers remarkably close together here. Wouter again, a very fast time from him. The drivers have been much more spread out. A good result here from Wouter's team. From memory, that's Champs are us. Yes. Although, are they down a team member or not? Yeah, again, they've only got 3 people, don't they? And that might cost them. So.
Yeah, I mean, but I think with Wouter,
I mean,
most of the races, I don't think it really matters.
Well, a P1 is the same as a P6, and a P16. So actually, drivers really make a difference by just having more of them there. He's really going to have to continue doing the best he can. I mean, he's had, 2 wins and a second, and that's amazing from him. That's 59 points plus whatever he gets from the poles and fastest laps. I haven't been counting them up too much. At the moment, my money would be on the Orange Army and who's the other one? I keep getting the names. The Orange Army and Good Drivers and Mark, as they've got all 4 drivers, both teams there.
Yeah, it's definitely. I'd definitely put my money on them too. So you get 5 red lights now.
And away they go.
Oh god.
Oh my god, someone's in the wall already. That's Deluxe spun. I think Yeast.
It is.
Yeah,
yes.
Deluxe and Yeast had a collision between the 2
and
teammates.
Yeast.
And that's MPC basically done for. We've had a spin there from Nathan, who again, even more bad luck. I hope he's still got the front wing for the sake of his screen. Oh, I've janked him.
Oh god. Okay, I'll take over from here.
I'm back.
Okay. Yeah, there's still very close between the top 3. Only 4 tenths separating each one of them. Supermug also up in there in the mix. 2 and 4 doing is the Orange Army. So
Orange Army doing super well.
Yeah, and actually, Ferg here is the replacement for Jacob. I don't know what Jacob's doing. One of our wonderful head admins, the man who normally does the graphics. And the man who's now just commented on Nathan once again having misery. Although he is still at the back of the group, so I assume there's no damage. I do want to check his car. No, he's still with his front wing. There we go. He's not lost 4 out of 4.
Yep. So, well, he could still lose another point. Another front wing, should he be not very careful with his traction.
Yeah, but he does have 2 drivers, P7 and P8, with Andre and De Wilts are doing alright so far. Is Nathan's career over? I think you might be onto something there, Pease.
I think so. I mean, back into the admin office he goes.
And Digweed, is that in the pit lane? Where is that?
It's in the barrier, and it's part of a Team Orange Army. Oh no! That could be very bad news in terms of Orange Army's points.
100%
but it's still all to play for the lead. Jacob saying,
yeah.
Fanatec OP, 100% spin rate. Absolutely, mate. I mean, if you're on a Fanatec, you're bound to spin. I mean, it's
Nathan sizing up Hedgehog now. And Hedgehog on his G29, same wheel I use. And I think.
Did you say Nathan on the G29?
No, Hedgehog is.
Oh, Hedgehog.
I don't know what Nathan uses, but
Nathan now uses a Fanatec.
I think he'll be looking to get the overtake done here. Actually, had a pretty bad exit. He got on the grass there, and I think he's missed his opportunity to pass Hedgehog on the hanger straight, and that's going to further frustrate him. But hop back on board. Front.
There's still action at the front. Super Mug got in front of Orion Mark.
And Ferg right behind Walter as well. 2 sets of battles within the top 4, and both of them involving someone from the Orange Army.
Yeah, it's actually incredible how good the Orange Army have been performing so far.
Yeah, I think really lining themselves up here to get into the final. Orange Army looking good, and again, marking good drivers. They're looking pretty strong as well. Of course, none of them have been right at the way the top all the time, but they've just consistently been there. All of them getting a decent score of points every round, even if it's not amazing. The fact they're all in the midfield, or like Mark, further up the order, that's going to really help. If I had to guess, it would be those 2 teams who get 1 and 2. Be interesting as to who gets P3.
Yeah, I mean, it's still all to play for, honestly. I mean, look at Formula ASB. He's still within 5 tenths. If Mark does something irrational with his car, he could lose that position to Formula ASB. I think ASB actually picked up the second fastest Sector 2, and they're all sticking behind Mouter, not willing to get one ahead of one another.
Yeah, I think Super Mug reluctant to pass Ferg, and Ferg will be wanting to get past Wout as soon as he can. Of course, every position you get, that's 1 more point for you and 1 less point for them. Wout getting fastest lap, but Super Mug immediately sniping it off him. The top 4 drivers pretty much in the second, actually also ASB right behind them. This front group, you really don't want a mistake, and you definitely do not want a penalty hit.
Yeah, you definitely don't. But I'll tell you what now.
Hey, hang on. Welter's about to get some DRS from the lap car, I think.
No, he is not. No, he does not get DRS from the lap car. So I'll tell you what now. If Ferg and Super Mug get Wouter down the hanger straight, I think it's not the one going into
yeah, that's the one that starts Sector 3.
Yes.
Yeah, they're going through tops now.
They should try and go for a move on Wouter then.
Yeah, I think
Wouter, he's just trying to.
You got Supermug just sitting right on the tail of Ferg. Reluctant to go for a move, but this time he'll be using his ERS DRS. I'm surprised he's not saving it. Actually does start saving his ERS. Ferg too far back from Welter. Good exit from Welter. But of course Supermug not under threat as he has DRS himself. So the Orange Army able to hold on to that P2 and P3.
it's all to play for still. I mean, it's so close up at the top 4. Anyone could win,
Oh,
really.
top 5. Don't get that
Top
ASB.
5.
He's still right there behind as Nathan picking up a penalty. And we've had a spinner, I think that's Hedgehog. Also, I'm pretty sure that of the 3 ASB members, sorry, of the 3 NPC, Team NPC members, one of them has been lapped, one of them is in second last. And then we got one at the back of this lead group here, Formula ASB, just to reserve, so of course slightly less than the line for him, can theoretically still reserve in the final. Even if the team he's with now doesn't do it, but he's still racing his heart out, trying to get these positions, and he'll be looking for any opportunities now here on the last lap.
It's so close. But I think Wouter, if he gets a really good run through Maggots and Beckett's, I don't see Ferg getting past Wouter at all.
Well, Ferg,
But I say that.
buckets of ERS. P's saying Ferg's going to regret waiting. Let's see. Just needs a good exit here, but Wouter, of course, knows exactly what he's doing. Wouter, yeah. Wouter just got a better exit here. I wonder if Supermug's going to have a look at his teammate here. He's got the faster exit. F1
They're
bump
trailing
drafting,
one another.
not really an option. But you, of course, don't want to lose out behind to Mark, who happily snipe up. Ooh, close one there between teammates. Nearly took both of them
Mark's
out.
going for a dive bomb.
Ooh, backs out of it in the end. Decides does not want to kill the orange car. He'll settle for P4. And there we go, another win for Wouter. 3 out of 4 for him as Ferg's car doing some funky stuff. Formula ASB picking up P5 then. Andre Nelusafu with DeWill and Hobbsy just behind him. The drivers crossing the line. Nacho, Nathan in P12, which is that his best result so far? I think it might be. Then
Honestly,
Craigo,
I think it might be.
Craigo, Hedgehog P14, and then Deluxey half a lap behind the entire field. So he's got his little parade lap as this is the last of the races in semi-final B.
Yeah, and it was actually really great 4 rounds. I mean, there was a lot of action for sure.
Yeah, we had Iceman getting
There's-
really unlucky at times.
Really unlucky. I mean, Nathan's luck has been horrendous throughout this entire semi-final.
Yeah, and here we go. Deluxey now to the line. And that concludes semi-final B. If only we had the scores in front of us.
Oh yeah. Sure, but look, we'll read it as it is right now.
Yeah.
Supermug getting driver of the day. I think deservingly so. As Router for the 3rd time today does his silly celebration on the podium.
Yeah, very, very strong from him. 79 points in terms of position finishes. Well, I mean, he would have got more than 80 with his poles and his fastest laps. So, very, very good from him. The most any driver can get from this, 88 points. He didn't quite get that much. But he got more than 80, so certainly very close to the maximum any one driver can score here.
Yep. And your race rundown for the final time. Wouter takes the win with Ferg in 2nd, Supermug in 3rd.
With fastest lap.
Yeah, incredible stuff. Hobbsy in 4th, Mark in 4th, 5th Formula ASB, 6th Andre, Nelusafu in 7th, 8th DeWill, 9th Hobbsy, 10th Veru. I'm absolutely mincing my words here tonight. Nacho in 11th, 12th Nathan JB, 13th Craigo, 14th Hedgehog, 15th Derluxy, and 16th Arx Yeast on Digweed.
And again, good drivers and Mark, just getting all the drivers somewhere up there. No drivers with a really low result, and that is going to add up. Now, I don't think this is their best result. Certainly last round, looked very strong from them. But if I had to call it, I would say probably Orange Army P1, good drivers and Mark P2, Champs R Us P3. It's really hard to tell between NPC and Iceman, but I think they're going to be P4 and 5 between the two of them, and so we won't be seeing them again in the final.
Indeed.
It's still leaving me on the standings.
Well, so I think we can call it that for today's Cone Cup, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, we can have a quick look at what the tracks are going to be in the final. We've got 4 tracks again: Portimao, Russia, Baku, and finishing it off with Jeddah for the final. So again, another round of 4 tracks, and that is going to be next Thursday. Not a clue who's going to be commentating. Might be us, might be someone else, but that'll be same time at 8 o'clock. Well, I say 8 o'clock. We weren't 8 o'clock this time because we were running late. But it will be 8 o'clock next Thursday. Yeah. Unless you've got anything to say, I think we can end it here.
Yep, it's been great commentating with you, Jonathan, and yeah, more of the same next week in the finals.
Yeah, it should be good. Even if I'm not commentating, I'm sure I will be watching to see which team gets it. And I think if I am commentating next week, I'll make sure to have a little spreadsheet up so I can do the rough calculations as to which team gets the win. But from us, that is going to be goodbye until next week or whenever.